Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, the DAPD breaks ground for construction of a multi-purpose development facility. Dominica advances towards an ecologically sustainable model for cocoa production, and police maintain vigilance against illegal immigrants at Dominica's borders. The details of the news coming up.
Avec flow, animate on top up, sign up, Kiteo, every video and flow. It only gets better with flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Are you still washing your hands regularly, wearing your mask in public, and practicing social distancing? 0 cases does not mean COVID-free. Stay home if you're not well to keep others from getting sick. Continue to avoid crowds in public spaces. Always keep your guard up. We're still fighting this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
First up in the news, a contract signed for $900,000 to build a multi-purpose development center for the Dominica Association of People with Disabilities. Thursday's contract signing and groundbreaking ceremony was a dream come true for the DAPD. The project is being financed under the Basic Needs Trust Fund.
I remember the many times, Mrs. Murphy, when you call in your own gentle way, but always very persistent. With your little words, anything at Mr. Carrot? Simple words, but always very instructive. We at the office really enjoyed working with you. And I will say on behalf of the entire staff, but one thing we enjoyed was your level of dedication in ensuring that this project become a reality. The project, in a sense, entails, for the most part, the demolition of the existing timber structure. As we can see, there are 2 parts to this building. Well, one is in poly concrete and there is one timber and concrete. So we are going to demolish, for the most part, the timber section, and that will be replaced in concrete with a concrete roof. And of course, in all the accompanying services, finishes, plumbing, electrical. The other section, which is already in concrete, we are going to add a post floor to it. And that will be the auditorium. And that will also have a concrete roof. So we want to ensure that the structure that will be given is going to be as strong and resilient as possible.
A concrete ramp and electric lift will also form part of the project. The Executive Director of the DAPD, Natalie Murphy, said the groundbreaking and contract signing was momentous and historic.
On completion, the building, which is situated to my left, will be transformed, and it is gonna demonstrate what it is to build a physically accessible building. It will also serve as a model to other builders wishing to build and create disability-friendly facilities. It will also bring an end to our years of challenges and difficulties in finding suitable and appropriate venues to host and hold activities on behalf of persons with disabilities. And then we are going to see an increase in activities and events on and for behalf of persons with disabilities. So today We are very happy. We are very excited.
Dr. The Honorable Addis King is Minister responsible for Dominicans with disabilities.
This Labour Party government, under the leadership of the Prime Minister, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, continues to place the well-being of all citizens at the core of our development. We are therefore committed to the holistic development of all the members of the DAPD family. I can safely say that the DAPD members and all other members with disabilities who are not yet members of this association are of paramount importance to our mandate. In fact, my ministry welcomes persons whose physical and psychological difficulties have not yet been identified nor classified, but who lives in constant distress and pain. We welcome you to be part of this movement for social justice and well-being. My government is cognizant of the challenges faced by all persons with disabilities. Clearly, we are committed to their cause.
The dream should become a reality within 8 months. The Ministry of Agriculture now better positioned to propel the cocoa crop. Here is Andrea Louis with more.
This as a report on cocoa germplasm assessment. DNA fingerprinting was handed over to the ministry on Wednesday. The assessment was conducted by the Caribbean Action Network, which received funding from the Jeff Small Grants Program in 2018. This report was designed to develop an ecologically sustainable model for cocoa production in Dominica. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Reginald Thomas, says the ministry sees cocoa as an important crop to the country, especially in light of international demand.
This country, Switzerland, does not produce cocoa. They import cocoa from the ACP countries, African and Caribbean countries, to produce the Hershey's chocolate that we buy. So it's a continuation to me of the colonial system of export of raw materials and import of the finished product. But we have a product which people desire. Everybody wants chocolate.
Dr. Thomas says the ministry has been laying the groundwork to ensure the cocoa production sector can be successful in the local and foreign markets.
So we have a cocoa rehabilitation project where we sought to rehabilitate farms. So we have rehabilitated thus far about 50 acres of cocoa we've pruned and should be back in production. On a yearly basis, we produce, or since Maria, we produce plants and distributed to farmers, new farmers, and rehabilitated farms. We have now completed work on one of our model agricultural stations in the Woodford Hill area. That particular facility has the capacity to produce about 25,000 plants.
The report on cocoa germplasm assessment will also help the ministry promote climate-smart and economic approaches for revitalization of the agricultural sector in Dominica.
18 contacts have been identified so far from the last 2 confirmed cases of COVID-19. The national epidemiologist says 2 are negative. The others will be tested when the viral loads are likely to be higher. Confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Dominica as of Wednesday, 2nd September is 22. The last 2 cases were detected on 28th and 31st of August. The 34-year-old female and 22-year-old male are both asymptomatic.
Our total number of confirmed cases so far since March is 22. Total active cases, 4. Total recovered cases, 18. Total number of deaths, 0. Total number of contacts identified from the last 4 new cases, 60. Total number of contacts tested negative from those 60, 44. Total number of contacts pending for PCR testing are 16.
Dr. Tora Brady is with the government quarantine unit.
Quarantine is a strict isolation imposed to prevent the spread of disease. This system of measure has always been done by governmental authorities at the port in order to prevent the spread of diseases. During this COVID-19 pandemic, government quarantine units have been set up and are used in order to isolate persons that have arrived from elsewhere or have been exposed to this infectious or contagious disease locally. Persons who have traveled from overseas are at a higher risk of being exposed to the COVID-19 disease, which is infectious and contagious. Therefore, upon arrival into our territory, our national COVID protocol states that these persons have to be set apart or separated from other persons. Quarantine can be done at private houses, assigned government quarantine buildings, or certified COVID hotel for a set period of days. In general, everyone who traveled from overseas has to be monitored upon arrival into Dominica in one way or the other. The number of quarantine days and the place to be quarantined will be based on our country's standard risk classification system, which is based on the country of origin, whether or not you have a PCR and the duration of it or the date it was done before arrival to the country. It will also depend on the results of a rapid test, whether you have been exposed or not, and whether you have COVID symptoms, and the other online questions that have to be filled out.
And with no safe vaccine yet on the horizon, the Minister for Health is urging all concerned to play their part in keeping Dominica COVID-free. All 4 active cases of COVID-19 in the country were imported since the reopening of Dominica's borders.
The world has been battling this pandemic over the past few months and will continue to do so until a vaccine that is not only safe but available to everyone regardless of socioeconomic status can be developed. In the absence of a vaccine, we must come to grips with the fact that COVID-19 will be with us for some time. It is also for this reason that adjusting our lifestyles and making sacrifices has become even more relevant. But we can only have maximum impact in dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic if it is done together. It is a collective approach, an all-inclusive approach. That is, everyone playing his or her part and functioning collectively. We have opened our borders, and as expected, like all other countries, we did get imported cases of COVID-19. Rest assured, the Ministry of Health continues with its interventions, which are geared towards augmenting and improving our existing services and activities. Our focus remains on prevention, rapid detection, and appropriate targeted response. That way, we will be able to reduce the morbidity and mortality related to COVID-19, as well as reducing the socioeconomic impacts from repeated lockdowns.
The health minister is cautioning that Dominicans avoid all non-essential public gatherings as much as possible.
There will always be time for social gatherings in the future, but as of now, we should refrain from planning such events. We are appealing to those in mandatory or self-quarantine to see this as their contribution in the fight against COVID-19. I'm also appealing to all bus drivers to assist us by making sure all passengers wear a mask and all business places to enforce the public health and social measures and guidelines put forward by the Ministry of Health. Let us continue to be our brother's keeper and show a public spirit of concern, educating each other, and even informing the authorities of possible illegal entrance into the country. we should rely on official sources for our information and avoid spreading unconfirmed reports and hearsay.
You are watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more after this.
Giving away $40,000 in cash, 2 bags of money plus a grand every Friday.
Every day, and now we're making parties great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
Sign up.
Just switch the flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you want to win cash galore.
We flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? From flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Are you still washing your hands regularly, wearing your mask in public, and practicing social distancing? 0 cases does not mean COVID-free. Stay home if you're not well to keep others from getting sick. Continue to avoid crowds in public spaces. Always keep your guard up. We're still fighting this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Thank you for staying with us. The police has issued a warning to those involved in facilitating or enabling illegal entry into the country. The police have intensified their patrol of Dominica's borders in an effort to prevent illegal entry or departure from the country.
Over the last week, we have had no addition to the seizures of vessels and arrest of persons for illegal entry into or illegal departure from Dominica. We are not saying these illegal activities have ceased. However, we will continue to pursue anyone who we have sufficient confidence and evidence have entered the country illegally. Again, I want to sound a warning to both owners and captains who are involved in illegal movement of people to and from Dominica. Your conduct is harmful and injurious to the safety and security of Dominica. The police force is engaging all means that are reasonably necessary to prevent and disrupt these illegal entries and exits from the island. Those of us who have relatives, friends, or children who we know are involved in these illegal practices, please speak to them. Warn them against these activities. Anyone found committing these illegal activities will be dealt with swiftly according to law. Additionally, I want to warn the persons involved that you are endangering your lives, as the police will treat every situation they encounter according to its merit. I urge you, therefore, abide by the law. Every person entering or departing from Dominica must do so through a legal port of entry. Finally, I want to remind the business places to conform to the guidelines relating to the wearing of masks and social distancing at your business place. Together, we will and must work to save Dominica from any spread of the COVID-19 virus.
The Dominica Manufacturers Association due to have a new president soon. This following the association's AGM in August. Immediate past President Severn Mackenzie is pleased with the level of awareness raised on the manufacturing industry during his 5-year stint at the helm of the DMA.
For example, when you see Choco Dominic, which is right now a budding new cottage industry that has been doing quite well. It actually came about of one of the ideas that I had when we introduced the Make Something to Sell competition. And then this young man was in fact the winner. He used the seed money of his prize, and that's where he is today. We were able to get, I was invited to the Portsmouth Secondary School as PRO of DMA to an open house on entrepreneurship. And then when I saw what they were doing, I invited the students, to one of the bi-Dominica activities that we had. And as a result, students of the Portsmouth Secondary School were selected to present their products in Ecuador and Peru, and took separate occasions.
The bi-Dominica Super Center was another of the major initiatives which came to reality under Mackenzie's watch.
I was the one who initiated the bi-Dominica Super Center, where we had over 270 items on sale, local items from about 60 plus suppliers. And I would say that within the last 10 years, there is no doubt that there has been an increased interest in manufacturing in Dominica. Just about the time when Hurricane Maria struck, we were in fact in the process of establishing a bi-Dominica shop in Guadeloupe.
The DMA is scheduled to have an executive meeting this week to determine who will take over as president of the association. And a challenge to the country's youth to get more involved in the lives of senior citizens. Here's Andrea Louis with details.
Dominica is observing Month of the Elderly in September with a scaled-down calendar of events due to the COVID-19 crisis. President of the Dominica Council on Aging, Ophelia Marie, says one of the activities the council has scheduled is a photography competition for youth to engage them in the lives of the elderly.
There, I would like the young people with their phones to go out and photograph senior citizens in activity. The activity could be them gossiping with their sister and their brother or with their friends. It could be them going to church in their dandans. It could be them in their garden, and send that to our Facebook page, because we do have a Facebook page. It is DCOA Inc., Dominica Council on Aging, INC, and you post the photograph there, or you take it to our office on Bath Road.
Judging of the photography competition will take place on 28th September. Marie believes this competition will give the wider Dominican public a chance to appreciate the lives of senior citizens.
We're doing that in a way to get our young persons to be more attentive to the senior citizens, those who live with them, or those that they see along their way when they move and what have you. It is also an opportunity for us to see what the seniors are doing. You stay a distance, you take that photograph and send to us, and that will, build our own information units, if you like, our database, and will give other people an opportunity to pay attention to that.
Other activities include virtual shows, a panel discussion, and the observance of Grandparents' Day on Sunday, 13 September.
We ask the churches to pay attention to the seniors in their communities, in their congregations on that day. So we're saying that again, if they could, do a special blessing for them, or some people give them little gifts on that day, or they highlight the qualities of senior citizens. They make it an opportunity to recognize them for the fact that they have blazed the trail that we are so comfortable living in and walking on, and also that they are, each one of them, a wealth of wisdom.
Observances will culminate with an address by the President, His Excellency Charles Savre, on 1st October, which is International Day for Older Persons. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Are you still washing your hands regularly, wearing your mask in public, and practicing social distancing? 0 cases does not mean COVID-free. Stay home if you're not well to keep others from getting sick. Continue to avoid crowds in public spaces. Always keep your guard up. We're still fighting this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
With love, when a bag of money cash out, get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From
Yo, check this. Flo is giving away $30,000 in cash.
Oh, yeah.
2 bags of money plus $1,000 every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making parties great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
To end the news, a look again at the headlines. The DAPD signs or breaks ground for construction of a multi-purpose development facility. Dominica advances towards an ecologically sustainable model for cocoa production. And police maintain vigilance against illegal immigrants at Dominica's borders. You may access the news on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.